Hey, what's going on, gang? Welcome back to another video here on High Rollers, Roads and Rails. Today I'm sitting here in the train room just kind of doing some thinking, and I'm thinking about some of the ones that got away. We're going to talk about it more right here on High Rollers, Roads and Rails. So when I say the ones that got away, you're probably thinking, what in the world is this guy talking about? Well, gang, I'm here to talk about some of the engines that I may have missed out on, whether it be a deal that I passed up on or pre-order that I didn't put in. But we're going to talk about my top 5 engines that I've kind of missed out on and unfortunately don't have up here on the wall behind me. So we're going to talk about these and more. And I'm going to preface this by saying, guys, I know some of the stuff that I'm about to talk about right now is available for purchase. So don't go blowing me up about some of these items because it's Christmas time. I got presents to buy, so we won't be purchasing any of these trains this year. But hopefully these are some deals that we can come across again in the future. So we're going to talk about right now, in no particular order, some of these engines. So let's take a look at them right now. Alrighty, gang, and to kick off my top 5 list of engines that I regret not ordering or purchasing, we're going to start with, oddly enough, a engine that cab number is number 1. And this is the RF&P Legacy H7 2882 from Lionel, and this is from their 2024 catalog, guys. So pretty recent. And I remember when this was cataloged, it kind of, just didn't really jump out the screen at me. It was one of those engines that, I love RF&P, but I didn't think much of it. Now, at first, I honestly thought this was an engine that the RF&P never even had. This was a fantasy scheme, but that is proven to be false. The RF&P did actually have 2 of these, and they were switch engines for the hump yard at Potomac Yard. But guys, this is one that I really regret because the rendering is one thing, but this engine in person, I've seen it a couple times now, is absolutely beautiful. Lionel really knocked it out of the park with these H7s. I mean, they're just super nice detailed. I mean, almost rivaling, like brass detail on these engines. So very impressive and 100% one that I regret not ordering. And there's actually a few for sale at dealers right now, and I'm having a hard time not pulling the trigger on one of these, but maybe early next year. All right, y'all, and now on to number 2 on this list, and these are in no particular order, but I can tell you guys right now that this one is one that I've been jonesing for quite some time, and that is the Lionel GS4 number 4449 and the American Freedom Train. And this is a Vision Line engine, guys, so we're just kicking it off with all the really expensive engines that I regret not getting. Now, this one is different than the RF&P because this is not one that I really paid any attention to early because when this was cataloged, I was out of the hobby. But, and it's actually an engine I've never even seen in person, but I can tell you from videos, this is one that I really, really want. So, I love the GS engines. I mean, I am an East Coast modeler, but I do have a GS2 in my collection. And I'd really like to have a GS4 American Freedom Train, but for me, it's got to be this Vision Edition. And the reason for that is this has the cylinder steam effect, which is something that I really want. Like, I don't have an engine in my collection that has that feature. I think it's the coolest thing that Lionel's done in their engines in a long, long time, and I think they need to do it in more engines. But without a question, this is one that I would love to have. I think the features on it are great. The sound's phenomenal. So, hey, if you guys have one of these, like, send me some pictures and videos. Like I said, I've only seen a handful of videos of these, and I've never seen one in person. So, hope to change that. And heck, I hope to change the chances of me buying one of these because honestly, this is one of those engines, if I see it, I'm probably going to buy it. All right, on to number 3. Now, this one may be a bit of a surprise because I don't really have any Strasburg in my collection, and I'm certainly not a Pennsylvania Railroad collector. But Strasburg 89 is just one of those engines that is very special to me because obviously I've seen it in person. But most importantly, 89 is kind of what got me back into trains, got me back into the hobby. And that's because a few years ago, me and my wife took a trip up to New York, and on the way back down, we were kind of just wandering through the Northeast, just visiting places that we wanted to go to. And I had wanted to go to Strasburg Railroad ever since I was a kid and never had the opportunity. So on the way back down, we went, and 89 was pulling the train that day. And it was just something about seeing that engine under steam and being around steam locomotives again. It just lit the fire in me to go home and pull out the model trains. And as you guys can see, the rest is history. But Lionel did a really good job with these. And this is the 260 Mogul. And I do like the 2000s paint scheme. And this was cataloged in 2023. And a great little engine. I think these kind of got overshadowed by the 90s that came out the year later that everybody waited forever for. And I do like the 90, but I just don't have a personal connection with it like I do the 89. So this is one that I'd like to pick up. I actually had the opportunity to buy one of these at a pretty good price and passed on it. And I regret it. So Strasburg 89, definitely one that I would like to add at some point. Alrighty, y'all, and for number 4 on my list, it is another engine that I have a real-life personal connection with. And this is the Lionel Western Maryland 3-truck Shay number 6, or more affectionately known as Western Maryland Big 6. So if you guys have been to the Cass Scenic Railroad, you know that this engine, the real one, operates there. And it's an engine that I got to see earlier this year and even go up in the cab and get to sit in the cab. So it's an engine that I love. It's definitely my favorite Shay. And it's just a beast to see in person. And I think Lionel did a phenomenal job with this. The whistle sounds good on it. It's a legacy Shay, so it sounds great. From my understanding, they run pretty good. So I don't have a Shay, and if I was going to pick one up, it would 100% be the Big 6. So before you guys say it, yes, I know there's one on trains right now. No, I cannot afford it. But again, maybe if this one sits around long enough, I'll pick it up. But the Legacy Shay Western Maryland number 6 is definitely on my list of ones that I would love to pick up. Now, to round out my top 5 list tonight, we'll do something a little bit different. If you guys noticed, the first 4 were steam engines. So I figure we'll end it off here with a diesel. And this one is the Norfolk & Western NS Heritage Series Legacy SD70 Ace number 247. Now, this engine is one that, believe it or not, I actually had and got rid of. Shocker. Actually, it is a shocker because me getting rid of an N&W engine is almost unheard of. But unfortunately, this was one that I had purchased at a train show, brought it home, and it would not run on command. It would run only conventionally, and come to find out, somebody had messed with the boards on the inside of it. So, fortunately, I was able to return that engine, but I haven't had the opportunity to buy one since. I did miss out at York in the spring. I actually bought all the matching cars for this engine, and the gentleman told me that I missed the engine by about an hour. Somebody had gotten there and bought the engine and left the cars. So, yes, this is one that I'd love to have. It's a beautiful paint scheme. Yes, it's a fantasy, and I'm not a big fantasy guy, but I think if you're going to do a fantasy paint scheme, this is the way to do it, man. It looks really, really good, and it's kind of one that I wish the real the real Heritage unit looked like this one. So I definitely had to squeeze this into my top 5 list. Now, I'm going to throw a few honorable mentions in here because, honestly, there's more than 5 engines that I'm really jonesing for. But this one I'm going to put in specifically because I missed out on a phenomenal deal on one of these on trains. And this was an engine that I just watched and didn't pull the trigger on, and certainly regretting it. But this is the RF&P Legacy Berkshire 284 number 572. And this engine was one that I saw it on trains with a Z and was steadily watching the price go down. And believe it or not, one of these things went, I think, for like $900. Actually, it might got down to like $850. But man, I don't know why I didn't pull the trigger, and I think it was because at the time I had a couple pre-order engines coming in, so I didn't want to put myself out there like that. And man, what a mistake. I have not had an opportunity to purchase one of these since then, but this is a beautiful engine, and Lionel, of course, did a great job on it, as they do with most of their Berks. They're just pretty nice engines. And so definitely, yep, the 572, I just love RF&P steam, and Lionel got it right on this one. So hopefully one that I can pick up in the future, but definitely an honorable mention. Oh, and to finish out my honorable mentions, I wasn't going to leave MTH out on this one. I know everything else has been Lionel, but this right here is one locomotive that I saw back when I was on vacation in the Eastern Shore of Virginia, up in Snow Hill, Maryland at Cordry Crossing Hobbies. My buddy Frank up there, he had 2 of these locomotives on his club layout, and I just fell in love with them. I mean, the paint scheme on these things is awesome. And what we're looking at, this is a Delmarva Central Rail King MP15 switcher. And y'all, just look at that paint scheme, man. That thing looks awesome. And the Delmarva Central is a little short line railroad up in the Maryland, Virginia area, Delaware. And so it's not real common. And I don't know if this was a custom run or not, but definitely a locomotive that I wish I could have picked up one from him, but he wasn't having it. So definitely something to keep my eye out for in the future. Alrighty, gang, and there it is. So now you guys have my list of the deals that got away, the engines that got away. And let me know down in the comments, you guys, is there any engines that you passed up on, or maybe missed out on a great deal, or maybe you didn't get your pre-order in on? Is there any engines that you saw in person and immediately regret it not picking up? Drop it down in the comments and let me know. So there's one thing about this hobby, is that it's very expensive. And unfortunately, you guys, you know, we can't get them all. And you have to pick and choose the ones that you want to pick up. So obviously there's always going to be deals that you miss out on. There's always going to be engines that you don't get. And sometimes you have to be appreciative of the ones that you did pick up. And I tend to do that all the time. I love to come in here and just look at the wall behind me and think about some of the nice pieces that I've been able to pick up. But I figured right here, with the year coming to a close and Christmas time soon upon us, that this was a good video to kind of recap on. And let's do this same video this time next year, and let's see how much this list has changed. Let's see if we've acquired some of the pieces on it, or let's see what pieces get added to it, because I can guarantee, like I said, you can't get them all. There's going to be ones that I missed out on. So guys, thanks so much for watching this one. This was a lot of fun to kind of recap on and talk about, like I said, especially right here at the end of the year. We're not going to end this one off just yet, because I've got some footage over the last couple weekends of running with the River City 3-Railers Club. So I figured I'd throw some of that running footage here at the end of the video for y'all to check out. So stay tuned for some awesome O-scale action. But if not, guys, we'll see y'all on the next one. So check out this footage now. And if not, we'll see y'all down the line.